live action anime. We've seen the worst of it and seen
The worst of it. No, that's it. That's it. The worst of it.
the worst of it, pretty much. We have yet to see a really good live action anime out there. I mean, I remember going to theaters to watch Dragonball Evolution, and that was a miserable experience. The best probably live action anime anything out there, it was maybe Speed Racer. But One Piece is looking like it's trying its best to break the curse. So the question we're asking ourselves today, will One Piece break the live action curse?
Welcome back to the Panic Brothers channel. My name is Simon, and this is Josue. No, I'm saying that's good. That's a good segue into it.
Yeah, it was.
Welcome back to the Panic Brothers channel. I'm Simon. This is Josue right here. Both massive One Piece fans. If you already know, by being on the channel, we make a lot of content here on One Piece. And Josue brings a good point. Will it break the curse? I personally think no. But I know you have more of a positive, optimistic outlook on this. So I'll let you spit on yours. I feel like my opinion's the more common narrative across the anime community.
Okay. I think there is a higher chance of this being all right. I think even with everything that we've seen so far, I mean, honestly, we've only had one trailer, so what am I talking about? But the trailer so far actually has over 10 million views on YouTube, which already sounds insane to me. You're saying you're not surprised, but I actually am. I mean,
I'm not surprised just simply because like Netflix has been milking this for a minute. It's One Piece, so it's like you kind of combine the hype and then like the fandom behind One Piece, and they even like Netflix even just shot up like a video of the cast doing USA versus Japan versus Mexico snacks. Like these guys are milking the fuck out of this.
Literally, the cast is one of the reasons why I feel a little bit more confident than others, because the cast, by all means, they have a great relationship with one another.
Truly.
Like, they really feel, to a degree, that they feel like the characters come to life.
Mm-hmm.
Again, to a degree.
Zoro's the only person, not character, but just cast, who seems a little distant, but it's just could be a language gap, because it seems like he's not the best of English.
I think it's more so that he's actually probably the busiest one. He actually...
Oh, really?
Yeah. He's like this isn't his first anime live action experience. He was in Saint Seiya just recently. There was a Saint Seiya movie, which I still need to watch, by the way. I need to get into Saint Seiya. Just one of those things.
I think I should get into it before I watch the movie. I feel like the movie would not put it in a good light for me moving forward.
Yeah, probably. I'm not talking about the movie. I'm talking about the series in general.
Yeah.
But yeah, he has experience. He's probably the most famous out of the entire cast, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
I never heard of anybody in the entire cast. He's probably the only one that like if you're gonna get anybody, might as well get him. I'm sure that some of the Japanese audience already knows who he is. Probably a good segue to wanting to watch the series. And on top of that, another good reason why I have a little bit of faith in it is, I'm not sure if you heard about it, the Japanese cast is going to dub the live action show.
Wait, oh no, I remember. I peeped that. Which is really good.
Like,
huge for the Japanese voice acting, because
which honestly, I'm sure some people are gonna watch it in Japanese just for that.
Oh no, yeah. Because I must say that's one of the things that's kind of my biggest gripe so far about the English voice acting, is that it's not the best. It's not the most believable in the trailer so far. Like I really like what's his name, Inaki. Inaki is like the main the main
Godoy
role. Yeah,
Inaki Godoy.
Yeah, Inaki as Luffy. I like him so far. He looks like Luffy, honestly. I like him a lot for it. And he has the energy behind Luffy too. But when he speaks in the English trailer, it felt just wrong. It didn't feel good at all. I'm not saying that like Luffy's English voice was easy to get used to in general. When you look at dub, it took me a while to get used to it too. But I really just don't like it. And the fact that the Japanese guys are doing it instead, I probably would enjoy this movie a lot more in Japanese than in the English.
Yeah. Even with Zoro too, I'm so used to. We only hear three of the characters. We only hear Nami, Luffy, and Zoro. Zoro too. I'm also so used to. I watch. People gonna hate me. And guess what? I don't care. I usually watch One Piece in dub. I watch new episodes in sub, obviously, and then as I rewatch the series, I watch it in dub.
It's fine.
So
it's fine. It's definitely not the right choice in my opinion, but do you?
I actually don't think the dub cast is all that bad. It's still
They're
just
not
the
that
pacing
bad.
of the series
It's just
that's awful.
I just think the Japanese was so much better.
Oh yeah. To each their own. But I think Zoro and Usopp are definitely perfectly cast. Oh, and Robin and Brooke.
Robin's the best one in my opinion in English, easily, like by far. She has like a really sexy appeal to her when she speaks in English. No, seriously, it's very reserved, like quiet, sexy. I love it.
Her I want to lip speech in English still hit. So I'm like, yeah,
I still think the stream is better in Japanese though. But sorry, continue. I think everything's better in Japanese, bro. Like really, surely.
But still, I'm so used to like the Piccolo voice for Zoro. It's a lot deeper for him, and I think it's really fitting for Zoro at least too. I really like Zoro's voice as well.
1,000%.
Christopher Sabat, I think his name is. So he's not hearing it a lot higher pitched a little bit is off for me. But again, I'm sure because of like his experience with like sword wielding and like kind of like he was also in Rurouni Kenshin as well, the live action movie for that. So I'm sure the actor for Zoro is gonna be well off.
He's one of the very few things on the trailer that I was impressed by, because when he was doing the sword fighting, it looked like, oh, that actually looks like they actually were training for this. It looks like he actually like, knows how to move as like swordsman. So that's pretty good.
And again, he's fighting against, what was it, Mr. Seven in the trailer?
No,
which is like,
was it Mr. Seven in the trailer?
Yeah, so remember how, you know about this. Come on, you know about this.
Was it Mr. Seven? I'm sorry, I'm rewatching the trailer again.
Yeah, we don't know how Mr. Seven looks like.
No, but not just that. I could have sworn he only fights Marines in the trailer.
No, that's him fighting, apparently it was supposed to be Mr. Seven.
Oh, never mind. I was looking way further in the trailer. There's another part of the trailer where he's fighting Marines. I missed the complete like first half where he does that. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, which again, that's a detail that is so like so sick.
No, yeah,
you know, we never see that in the series, and meanwhile, it is canon. It's supposed to be a canon fight, and it kind of also ties in Baroque works in the first season in the East Blue Saga already, which lovely detail, because as soon as if they ever get to season 2, we already know what Baroque works is, and it's because of the Zoro flashback.
Yeah.
So fire detail. I love that. Just setting stuff up early. But this guy, Arthur, the Labyrinth O'Hara guy, it was a whole massive Twitter thread, 1.7 million views on Twitter, him talking about how he actually got to travel to Los Angeles to see parts of the live action early. So even he has some thoughts on it. He's obviously biased.
Could you imagine if he was like, guys, they flew me out and I worked on the team to make sure it's all accurate, and now that I came back home, my review is this shit sucks. That would be insane.
Well, funny enough, I feel like you would have some One Piece fans that would say that because of some of the differences.
Yeah.
Like, yo, bro, what? Luffy didn't say "Gomo Gomo no Mi"? Like, dude, dog shit. Dog shit. You know, like sticking it for what it's worth, and like for what it is, an adaptation as opposed to supposed to be like a 1-to-1. He said that he actually has pretty positive thoughts across the board. It's a pretty fun show. Like, it's not a perfect show.
It's not. It's never gonna be. Let's be honest. Live action.
Yeah,
anime
of course.
Would never be perfect.
Of course, but it apparently embraces the goofy and fun-loving nature that One Piece is, and like for the most part, it can satisfy a lot of people, whether you're like new to the series or not. It's just a fun series, and apparently it's like you end the episode, it kind of bleeds into the next one really well. Like you want to watch the next one, you know, like it has that like
element of bingeable.
Yes, apparently according to him.
Yeah.
He did say that, however, some of the scenes were corny, which is, again, it is what it is. I feel like that's unfortunately to be expected.
Yeah. That brings me to a solid point, actually, because for me, the reason why I'm not as optimistic about it is because certain fight scenes I think are gonna look really rough. Like Zoro looks great for sword fighting, but man, it's the curse of live action stuff. Like Gomu Gomu looks so it looks so bad. Like, I hate to be that guy, but it just didn't look good. Let's be honest. Like, no matter what happens, a devil fruit, I feel like, is not gonna look normal in live action.
Yeah, it's funny you bring up the fighting, because he actually brings up the fighting also. He said that one of his favorite things is actually the fighting.
Really? Like I
He
said, the
was,
Zoro
again-
fighting can get it. Like Sanji, that makes sense. But
Yeah.
like Gomu and Devil Fruits.
So, again, I'm going off of what he said.
Yeah.
He's saying that the choreography is legitimately insane, and the fights in particular use camera work to make them really fun to watch. And on top of that, he said that for the most part, CGI is good enough for the most part to be passable, and a lot of the fighting, like let's say Luffy, if he's gonna do his he's gonna stretch, it happens really fast in battles. Like it's just quick. So like it's not enough for you to be like, oh, that looked awful. It's just very much like
a geared kind of chew in a sense, where it's very much quick and like just you add the feeling of its elasticity quick, but you don't see him actually stretch all the way out.
Yeah, I'm sure that one scene in the trailer of him doing it was meant to like really establish what his power is, maybe.
Yeah.
But like, does he do that all the time in the series? Probably not.
Dude,
And
I
it's
really hope
it's
not.
a good thing.
But the thing is, the problem is you have stuff like Jet Stamp. No, not Jet Stamp. Gomu Gomu. I think it's just Stamp actually, or Battle Axe. I can't remember the name of the actual move. It's the one you use to finish Arlong off. Like you can't just do that one quick. You have to show his foot going all the way up because it really adds like the grand like, oh, this is the final move. So you have scenes like that.
Yeah.
I wonder if they could do that well.
That's I don't know. That's gonna be interesting, especially because I think that scene in the trailer of him going all the way back.
Mm-hmm.
I think that looked like because Kobe was in that scene.
Yeah.
You can see Kobe real quick.
Mm-hmm.
So that's obviously set during probably the fight against Alvida.
Yeah. No, that's Alvida who he punches. Like, I think. I mean, it's a woman with like a hat. I think it's her.
Yeah. So that means that that has to be like episode 1.
Yeah.
So, and the fact that it takes place at night, that usually when they do CGI and at nighttime, it's supposed to mask the like Jurassic Park 1. It only looks as good as it does because it took place at night.
Yeah. Exactly.
So, so that's why I can see that's why they did it at night. But Arlong, are you gonna do it at night also? I mean,
that's what I'm saying.
I won't get that mad, but
also like, do you get really creative and like go off the lore and do a new way to finish him off? Is that the move? Like, what do you do to not really make it look so awkward when he finishes him off?
I think it's one of those things that I don't.
Also brave, but really brave of them. By the way, sorry to cut you off. Really brave of them. Not brave of them, but really telling of them not to show a glimpse of Arlong in the trailer, because I feel like the CGI on that could go really like, oh, it looks like Avatar, like the characters in Avatar, not that bad, or it could be just terrible, and I'm so scared because a whole arc of that could be really bad.
I think that's going to. I think majority of the characters don't look too bad.
No.
Sanji's hair looks kind of off, and Nami's hair also looks off, but so far it's kind of
still believable. They look believable.
The costume design is definitely good, but I'm terrified of the fishmen. And not their characters, like not their personalities. I'm scared of the designs.
Just what they look like, dude. Like imagine Hachi. Like that's.
I know.
How do you do Hachi, dude? That really concerns me a lot, because, like I said, if you have a whole arc of this that's several episodes, and if several episodes really bad CGI, I can see a lot of people being like, "Oh, this is not me. I'm not doing this. I'm not watching this."
Yeah, this is rough. I mean, again, you probably have the story. I mean, we know the story of Arlong Park. If they can adapt it well, we know that the story is enough to carry.
Yeah,
that's gonna be like
still
a phenomenal ending. But I know.
I think personally speaking, I think you just have to make them humans with gills. I think just make them human characters who have gills. Don't make them exaggerated. Don't make them look like fish. I think that's the best way of doing it.
I'm not gonna lie to you either. Now that I said it earlier, I think maybe humans with gills. I think that's not a bad point. They're obviously not gonna do the Arlong nose thing, which they shouldn't. I don't want that.
Don't do it.
It's gonna look awful, but. It's probably gonna be all at night too. I'm not gonna lie, probably.
I can see it.
It's probably the best way.
I can see it.
And honestly, you know what? Seeing Arlong kind of walk out of the shadows, like,
would be kind of dope. Assuming he doesn't look like a fucking
fire.
Terrible CGI mess. Yeah, no, that'll be even more terrifying.
The only thing is like, isn't Arlong like ginormous over Luffy? Like, isn't he like? Doesn't he look down on Luffy?
He looks down on him, but he's not like Kuma tall, but he's still tall.
I know, but yes, still like at least like 10 feet tall. Yeah. Oh, like come on.
Arlong is 8'7", so yeah, he's got 3 feet on like Luffy.
Bro, he's still shorter than Victor Wembanyama. Are you kidding?
They cast Victor Wembanyama for Arlong.
No, I that is really telling. I also want to see like, I think Don Creed could look all right. I think what's that dude's name from Syrup Village? We always forget his name.
Oh, fuck, we always forget his name. Kuro, Captain Kuro.
There we go. I think Kuro is probably gonna look at the finest. Like he's gonna be all right. Like
no, to be fair, can't mess that up. To be fair, if we're talking about people who look good, I think my favorite 2 castings so far have been one. This is really funny because I didn't really notice how good it was gonna look until the trailer, and that's Kobe. I think Kobe looks very much like Kobe. I'm like, that is like perfectly what I imagine this motherfucker will look like in real life. But the second character I really like a lot is the guy who's playing Dracula Mihawk. No. The guy playing Dracula Mihawk.
You don't think Zep looks 1-to-1?
I think Mihawk looks more to 1, dude. I don't know if you've seen his name is Steven Ward. I don't know if you went to Steven Ward's Instagram, but he has a picture of him dressed up as Mihawk on it. And I'm like, holy fuck, that is dead ass Mihawk. Yeah, it's insane to me.
The casting has been pretty spot on for the most part. I've yet to come to see a casting like announcement and be like, oh.
No. So far they're fucking killing it. They have not completely messed it up,
bro. Dude, no. Please look up Zeph. That dude is Zeph.
No, I think I could have sworn I seen a picture of him and it looked pretty good, but it's not the. I'm sorry, the Dracula Mihawk one.
No.
Yeah, no. I see. Okay, I seen it. Yeah, I seen this picture. He looks good. Like, believe me, he looks fucking amazing. Like that literally looks like Zeph. But hear me out. When you look at Steven Ward, right? Like, the picture he has is him with the facial hair and the outfit and the necklace. And when you see that, you're like, holy fucking shit, this dude is Mihawk.
I believe, dude, trust me, I get it. I saw the picture of him when he first was announced. I'm like, that's Mihawk.
Yeah.
The only dude that I've questioned and I'm scared for the casting. Every casting so far, spot on. Shanks.
At least the back of his head looked good in the trailer. But that's like literally just the back of like a dude's head. Like, how much can I really get from that, you know?
Exactly. But something I'm scared for Shanks. I'm sure I know he's apparently a good actor. Like, he's been in other things, other projects.
Yeah.
But I'm scared. When I look at him, I don't see Shanks. So that's the one thing.
I see more of like a French dude or like a Spaniard than I see Shanks, to be honest. It's the facial that throws me off. He usually like rocks like a very thin mustache and goatee. I don't know if they're gonna keep that for the live action. That's usually what he rocks, and that's what kind of throws me off the most. But I think of a wig, maybe. I don't know. It's gonna be hard to say for sure. I see what you mean.
Goatees don't look good anymore, man.
I mean, for Shanks especially, it doesn't look good because that's not what fucking Shanks wears.
Yeah, I say that as I realize you had it, but you also still have the rest of this though.
No, yeah, I don't do just this and then this. No.
Yeah, just this. I've had some uncles that have had that, and that
it doesn't look right.
Yeah,
it doesn't look right.
Yeah, so only Shanks could pull that off, huh? But I don't know about the actor. So
is there anything else he brought up in the Twitter thread? Excuse me.
Yeah. So he said he mentioned some of the changes of the series and what they're going to do, and I think a lot of the changes, I'm not mad about it, mainly because like hey, you about to just turn 50 episodes, 100 chapters into just 8 hour-long episodes. So yeah, they got to condense some things, and I know you can cut out a lot of those things. Like, I doubt they're gonna go run into what's my man's name? The man who was like stuck in the treasure chest.
Oh, the one that everyone thinks like is connected to the One Piece.
For some reason.
Fuck, I can't remember his name. I know you're talking about, yeah.
Yeah, like, I doubt he's gonna be in the live action show, and that's all right. No. I don't think anyone gives a fuck.
No. Truly, like, I feel like to put in that, you have to put in a lot of other details too, because like that's just very much like not relevant to the 8, like you said, the 8 episodes that you're trying to pitch. So it's not worth it at all. No.
Exactly. And I also kind of feel like because they've been in constant communication with Oda which is another reason why I feel confident about the series. Like, Oda's giving his oversight in the series. Like, I'm sure they probably went to Oda and like, yo, can we cut this? And he said, yeah, don't worry about it. So
yeah, you give it. Don't worry about it. I'm actually kind of busy on like kind of finishing the manga, so I really don't care.
Yeah, exactly. So he said that some things have changed. So Nami is gonna join the crew at the same time that Zoro does. So like,
I peeped that.
It's like,
I peeped that. I think everyone kind of did in the trailer because literally in the trailer, Luffy says, "I'm sensing some hostility in the crew." I'm like, in the crew, like she's already on the same crew as Zoro that early on. So I peeped that they're cutting that.
Yeah, exactly. And he also mentions that Luffy first meets Usopp by the Mary, but I don't get what he means by that because
by the Mary, like when they get the Mary, Usopp appears. That makes no sense.
That I don't know, but apparently, I guess just the way that Luffy meets Usopp is gonna change, which is also like, I don't know. Just I get that some things have to change.
Yeah.
And him meeting Nami earlier doesn't bother me. I'm fine with that. I kind of hope that they do something like the anime did. Do you remember how in the anime, like they also introduced Nami early? Like she was in the first episode, even though she shouldn't have been, and it was because she was looking for, like, the treasure map of like Buggy or something. Like she was looking for Buggy's treasure map.
She was in the first episode,
and I was like, oh, I was in the first episode of the series, and I was like, that's a really cool way to, because they already knew what happens in the first 100 chapters by the time the first episode came out.
Yeah.
So they kind of able to like plan ahead in that way, like kind of like. So that was cool. I kind of think that would be a really cool way to also have Nami introduced a lot earlier than usual.
Damn, I never peeped.
I'm gonna get one.
What the fuck? Sorry, I'm just learning about a lot of things right now because not only did you mention that, but I'm also looking at just like fun trivia facts about episode 1. I didn't realize that the end card for the first 2 episodes wasn't to be continued. Did you know that? The first
what was it?
In the first 2 episodes, it was kanji that says followed by. And then finally, episode 3, they changed it to be continued, and it never changed from that point on. Very weird.
As it should. Oh, honestly, if the first episode ends and we see the to be continued,
no, oh, you mean the followed by?
No, to be continued in the live action show.
Oh,
if every episode ends with the same way, I'm like, all right, great.
I think that's a given. I think they're gonna do that. I think it's a given. But I think it would be crazier is the first episode they put followed by. I'm like, what the fuck? That's a deep cut that not many people are gonna follow if you do that.
Oh wait, I get this feeling that the series is gonna do a lot of deep cuts for some reason, and I think at the very least, even if the show is like dog shit, I think at the very least there's gonna be a lot of I think there's gonna be at least a lot of that, like a lot of references that only the fans can get, and I think at the very least, I think fans could appreciate it for that. It's not like Dragon Ball Evolution where there was no references. The only reference was Goku eating a turkey leg.
There's a lot of problems.
Oh, it's a reference to Goku eating. Like,
you know how crazy that is? If your early reference is a character eating, like, he does that in the show. He eats too. Oh my god, it's so crazy. That's how you know he fucked up, bro.
I remember watching something like that where people were like, or it was like a video of like all the Easter eggs in Dragon Ball Evolution. It's like, Goku eats a turkey leg, and it's because like he's so hungry in Dragon Ball.
That's when you realize you're starving for anything in the movie, bro.
Yeah, I was like, they whoever made Dragon Ball Evolution did not watch Dragon Ball.
No, bro.
Versus One Piece, where everyone has apparently read and watched Dragon Ball, and like One Piece was like their Bible.
I think Netflix also knows just how big One Piece is, so they're like, we can't fuck it up. Like, we just can't possibly fuck this up, guys. Because if we fuck it up, then not only will the jokes continue that we can't make live action, but we have fucked up the biggest payday we could have possibly ever gotten.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the thing. If this goes well, and I imagine it's season 1. There's never been like there haven't been that many shows with that phenomenal season 1. It's usually like season 2, where things like they really get like their footing.
Yeah.
Like Breaking Bad season 1, it's not the best season. Game of Thrones season 1, not the best season. But like it was enough for people to be like, all right, I'm invested. I'll buy into it. Like, let's see what happens from here.
Yeah.
So as long as they can just get a solid enough season 1, Netflix has the back.
No, yeah. I just personally think it's not gonna happen. I still think very much after all these things we're saying about it, and I'm believe me, I want to be optimistic, and I'm hopeful that things turn out the way against what I think is gonna happen. I still think at the end of the day that it's not gonna work. I've fully have subscribed. I think we talked about this the last time I talked about live action animes. I fully subscribe to the notion that you can't do it. I just don't think it's doable. Just because Death Note, I think, was the best example of an anime that could have easily become live action. I think Death Note was very much a layup. That was such a simple concept that could have been live action. And they fucked it completely. And the fact that they can't even do that, and now I'm going to watch my favorite series, fucking anime, whatever you want to call it, my favorite concept probably of all time, to be honest. I fucking love One Piece so much. And I still have no hopes just because I think that they're not able to do certain things right that create the magic of One Piece. I think it's very telling. I think that's going to be just the case moving forward with any live action animes. I'm going to watch it. I'm going to support it. But I just think that no matter what, I know I'm being very pessimistic when I say it, but I just don't think realistically we're going to get there. I hope we do, but I don't think we're there.
I think it's about argument what you're saying. I mean, like, you also have like history backing you, right? Like, if there's been 100 live action anime projects and 100 of them have been dog shit, why would you believe that the 101st one would somehow be different? And the only reason why I feel very hopeful about this and why I'm gonna just take the opposite stance and be like, yeah, I think it will break the live action curse, is only because while the trailer didn't sell me completely, and I've already watched it maybe 5-6 times, I don't know how many times, it didn't sell me completely. I also do think that there's a lot backing this that, at the very least, I think I would walk away with being like, that was all right. And at least they had a lot of love. They gave a lot of love to the series. And while that still isn't a phenomenal stance, I think that's still more than the 100 live action anime projects that we've seen already.
Yeah. I do agree with you that I do believe there is a chance that it will be better than what we've seen before. I just don't think it will be.
Except for maybe Speed Racer,
amazing.
maybe. I think that
Speed Racer is a very, very good example of how to actually do it if you ever fucking do it. But I think it'll be one of the best, if not the best, we've seen so far. I just don't think that it's going to be great in general. But I definitely agree with you. There's a lot going for it.
A lot going for it. But time will tell. Let's see if it really does break the live action anime curse, and still holding out hope for that Boku no Pico live action one day. I hope for that.
We definitely got to cut that part out.